The emergency session of the Galactic Council had been called with unprecedented urgency. Ambassador Zeixther of the Kellian Collective watched as representatives from 47 species materialized in their holographic forms around the vast circular chamber. The air itself seemed to crackle with tension. "This cannot be possible," hissed Chancellor Vemora, her crystalline body refracting the chamber's pale light into 1,000 anxious shards. "Sector 7 Gamma has been quarantined for over 10,000 cycles. Nothing survives the decay." Harry gripped the controls of the small scout ship, his knuckles white against the worn metal. Beside him, Honey checked their coordinates for the third time in as many minutes. "We're definitely where we're supposed to be," she said, her voice carrying that peculiar mix of excitement and apprehension that had become familiar to Harry over their 6 months of deep space exploration. "But according to these readings, we just crossed some kind of barrier." Harry nodded, his eyes scanning the viewport. The stars had changed subtly, their configuration unfamiliar. "Run it again. Maybe it's a calibration error." But Honey's fingers were already dancing across her console, her training as a xenolinguist making her unusually adept at reading alien sensor data they'd salvaged. "No error. Harry, I think we just left the solar approach vector. We're in completely uncharted territory." What neither of them knew was that uncharted was a profound understatement. They had just crossed the most heavily monitored border in galactic history, the edge of Quarantine Zone 7 Gamma, known to the galactic community simply as the Tomb of the Ancients. The Galactic Council chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien voices, each species expressing horror in their own unique way. The Meluvians' bioluminescence flickered like distressed fireflies. The Traxian delegates' 3 heads argued with each other in agitated whispers. Even the normally stoic archivists of Proxima showed signs of distress, their mental emanations flooding the room with waves of concern. "Order," Ambassador Zeixther's voice boomed through the chamber, his massive form rising from the central dais. "We must approach this rationally. Surveillance Station Omega-7, what exactly did you detect?" The holographic image of Station Commander Rella appeared, her 6 eyes blinking in rapid succession, a sign of extreme stress among her people. "2 signatures, Ambassador. Biological. They emerged from the quarantine zone traveling at sublight speeds in what appears to be a primitive fusion drive vessel. The energy signature matches. It matches the forbidden frequency." A collective gasp rippled through the assembly. The forbidden frequency, the signature of the ancients, the ones who had nearly destroyed the galaxy before the decay consumed their entire sector of space. Honey's console began receiving a transmission. At first, it was just noise, clicks, whistles, electromagnetic pulses that seemed random. But as she ran it through their translation algorithms, patterns began to emerge. "Harry, someone's trying to talk to us. Can you decipher it?" "Give me a minute." Her fingers flew across the keyboard, her mind already forming linguistic connections, building bridges between the unknown and the familiar. This was what she lived for, first contact, the moment when 2 civilizations reached across the void to touch minds. The translation came through garbled at first. Creatures from, zone, identify, origin, immediate compliance. "I think they want to know where we're from," Honey said, her hand hovering over the communications relay. Harry considered for a moment. "Tell them the truth, we're from Earth." The word meant nothing to the Galactic Council. Earth was not in their databases. It should not exist. For 10 millennia, Sector 7 Gamma had been a dead zone, a region of space where the decay, that terrible weapon unleashed in the ancient wars, had consumed all life, all matter, reducing everything to cosmic dust. Yet here were 2 beings, alive, coherent, claiming origin from within the tomb itself. "This is impossible," whispered Archon Kellis of the Wisdom Caste. "The ancients were destroyed. Their worlds were unmade. The decay leaves nothing, Not even atoms remain structured. It breaks the very bonds of reality. But Ambassador Zeixther was studying the data more carefully. Commander Rella, you said they're using fusion drives, not quantum tunneling, not dimensional folding. Confirmed, Ambassador. Primitive fusion. Chemical rockets for atmospheric launch, it appears. Their technology level is approximately scale 2.4 on the Kardashev metric. Scale 2.4. Chancellor Vemora's voice pitched higher. That's barely space-capable. How did such primitives survive what killed the ancients? Harry and Honey didn't know it, but they were creating the greatest mystery the Galactic Council had faced in millennia. They were also, inadvertently, terrifying the most powerful civilizations in the galaxy. Honey finally established a stable communication channel. The alien voice that came through was measured, careful, and deeply unsettled. Beings of unknown origin, I am Ambassador Zeixther of the Galactic Council. You have emerged from Quarantine Zone 7 Gamma, a region that has been sealed for 10,000 standard cycles. We require immediate information. What are you? How did you survive? Are the ancients returning? Honey looked at Harry, confusion evident on her face. Ancients, what's he talking about? Harry shrugged. Just answer his questions, we've got nothing to hide. Honey activated the transmitter. Ambassador Zeixther, this is Dr. Honey Chen of the Earth Expeditionary Force. My companion is Harry Morrison. We're human from Earth, Sol System, 3rd planet. We're not sure what you mean by ancients or why you're surprised to see us. We're just explorers. The silence that followed was profound. In the council chamber, 47 species stared at the data streaming in. Biological scans of the two humans showed standard carbon-based life, DNA structure, bilateral symmetry, nothing remarkable, nothing that explained how they had survived. Run planetary scans of their origin point, ordered Zeixther. The results came back within minutes. A yellow dwarf star, 8 planets, one with abundant life. Oceans, continents, atmospheric composition, nitrogen-oxygen, and a population of approximately 8 billion beings matching the signature of the two in the scout ship. This cannot be, Archon Kellis breathed. An entire thriving civilization in the heart of the decay zone, impossibility upon impossibility. But Harry and Honey were learning things too. As the communication continued, Honey's translation algorithms began pulling in historical data from the Galactic Council's public archives. What she read made her blood run cold. Harry, she said quietly, I think I know why they're scared. According to this, our entire region of space was supposed to be dead. Something called the decay was used as a weapon 10,000 years ago. It was supposed to have sterilized everything for 1,000 light years in every direction. Harry's jaw tightened. But Earth is fine. Humanity evolved naturally. Hell, we've only had recorded history for about 5,000 years. Exactly, Honey's eyes met his. We shouldn't exist, but we do. Ambassador Zeixther was reaching the same conclusion, and it terrified him. The decay had been the ultimate weapon, reality itself unbound, matter itself dissolved. It had been deployed against the ancients when their empire had threatened to consume the galaxy, when their technology had grown so terrible that extinction seemed preferable to submission. The decay had worked. The ancients had been destroyed. Their 1,000 worlds had vanished like morning mist. Or so everyone had believed. What if, Chancellor Vemora said slowly, what if these humans are the descendants of the ancients? What if some survived? The implications were staggering. The ancients had possessed technology that made current galactic civilization look primitive, weapons that could crack planets, ships that could traverse galaxies, if they had survived, if they had rebuilt. But Harry's next transmission put that fear to rest, while creating an entirely new one. Ambassador, we're picking up something strange. Our sensors show massive radiation signatures throughout this region, like the aftermath of matter-energy conversion on an enormous scale. Did something happen here? Some kind of war? The human was asking about the decay as if it were ancient history, as if his people had no memory of it. Zeixther made a decision. Dr. Chen, Harry Morrison, I am extending an invitation for you to approach Galactic Council Station Prime. We have much to discuss. What the Council would learn in the days that followed would reshape galactic civilization. The humans weren't descendants of the ancients. They were something else entirely, a species that had evolved after the decay, rising from a world that should have been lifeless ash. Somehow, impossibly, Earth had been shielded from the weapon that had unmade reality itself. As Honey and Harry's small ship approached the massive structure of Council Station Prime, surrounded by vessels from 100 worlds, Honey couldn't help but smile. "First contact," she whispered. "We actually did it." Harry nodded, though his eyes were wary. "Yeah, let's just hope we make a good impression." Neither of them could know that their arrival would trigger the greatest paradigm shift in galactic history, or that the question of how humanity had survived would lead to discoveries that would change everything the galaxy thought it knew about the decay, the ancients, and the true nature of Earth's impossible existence. The Galactic Council watched the human ship approach and wondered, what else had they gotten wrong about the quarantine zone? What other impossibilities might emerge from humanity's survival? And most terrifying of all, if humans could survive the unsurvivable, what else might they be capable of?